All right, all right, all right. Hello. I am late. Everything hated me today, but it is okay. Everything is fine. I think I figured out the music. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Okay. Check on this. Perfect. Perfect. I'm sorry, I'm so discombobulated because I am late. The funny thing is I was up at 4 a.m. today, which was great. I was like, I'm gonna be on time, it's all fine, everything's good. And then my dad got up and he wanted to talk. And so I didn't come upstairs until like 5:16 and I needed a shower. And shower's taking 15 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna be at least a little late. And then OBS was like, I hate you. I hate you so much. And I was like, okay, you're fine. We'll work it out. I did rewatch every stream except for my grizzly beard one. I figured out the music, I believe, was a pain. And this is what we're working on today. We're working on Rose Red and Snow White. Sorry, I also messed with my mic settings, so hopefully they're a little bit better. I don't know, we're trying, we're doing our best. We're doing our best here. Sorry, I got so thrown off by the fact that I was late, even though I was up really early. I'm going to show you guys quickly the finished King Grizzly Beard. I don't think I ended up changing anything after I got off stream, so if you watched that stream, this is a final illustration. It went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know that it did that well. Maybe it did. It did pretty okay. It did okay. Not as good as a lot of my other ones, but that's fine. I don't know, I've not figured out Instagram yet. Let's see, what do we want to start with? Whenever I get on Twitch, I'm always like, I'm not in the mood to do anything, don't make me do it. Pretty much immediately you have to get into the mood of creating, because otherwise, you know, it's just going to be a very boring stream when you have no one else chatting with you. I gotta figure out how to attract people in my stream. I don't really know how one does that. In my stream the other day, you could definitely hear could you hear me like flipping my laptop? I have a 2-in-1 laptop, so it's a tablet laptop combination, so I flip it over. And you could definitely hear it when I was doing that. So we shall just do our best to minimize that a little bit. Or hopefully my new mic settings will minimize that. How's that? Pretty good. Pretty good. I really realized the last time when I did the full illustration in 2 hours that I'm capable of a lot more than I thought I was capable of. So that's interesting. I'm hoping, since this is my last drawing in the series, I should already be planning my December content, but I just have not had the bandwidth, considering how sick I've been. And I'm still unwell, but I'm not as bad as I was, in my opinion. My humble opinion. So I just haven't had time to plan any of that out. So I have no idea what I'm going to be drawing on Monday. I could be working on this again. This does not necessarily have to be finished. Can you tell I don't want to work on this at all? Excuse the noise. Once again, closed my references. There you are. And I need them. Let's see. This one. This. I feel like I should have like these 3 should go in here. Because that's one girl. And then these 3 in there. So I need like a larger screen for this stuff. Just as what brush do I want to use in order to figure this out? Now here's the question. So there's 4 viewers in chat, plus Nightbot as a mod, plus myself. Who counts as the 1 viewer on the stream? Let me know. I want to know. Explain to me what's going on here, because I need to know. Okay. This probably should be trying to be more organized today than I usually am. Do I have... This one might be okay. Don't hate that. Can't see it at all on the second screen. Hello? You cannot see it. I swear it's there. Promise. Here. I need like a darker red for this. This does not seem to be the best here. Let me see if I turn this off. Oh man, I gotta clean this up, but I don't want to right now. Don't make me. Oh, now you can finally see it on the second screen. Okay. No idea what I'm doing today. Oop, that's why nothing is working. Okay. I said nothing of use, and it's been 10 minutes. Lovely. Nothing of use. You're just getting one of those modes where you're just kind of like, I don't want to deal with anything right now. Don't make me deal with anything. That's a nice song. This story, by the way, so different from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that you can't even. It's crazy. You can't even really compare them. No, I guess we'll figure this out more when. No. Not bad. Not good, but it's not bad. Let's see about this one. I like this song a lot. I still wish I could listen to like copyrighted music, but I am not allowed to. I will not. What am I doing today? I don't even know. Funny thing is, in none of these fairy tales do they ever mention anything about these girls' looks except that they're beautiful. Hair is crazy, dude. Should we fully render her and then move on? Does she even? Wow, my sketches are so helpful. Just the most helpful thing you've ever seen. You know it, I know it, we all know that they are the most helpful thing ever. I don't want to rename you. I already know. Let me try, but I already know that this is not. Oh. Not bad, actually. Okay, let me just find the right reference. Okay. They're smaller. Oh, her first eye is like here. Her second one is like here. Jawline. Under lip. Nose. And then maybe like that to round it. Maybe. Oh, man. Might be above my skill level. We shall see. We shall see. Don't like this. Oh man, hold on. There was one. Hold on. There was one. Sorry, I'm back. There was one time I thought I had muted myself, right? And I had not, and I just coughed straight into the microphone. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. That sounds great. It was, not ideal, but I only knew after the fact, and it was only the one time. I coughed subsequently in that thing, and nothing was wrong later, so. Kinda dark. The picture I'm looking at, she's very happy. She's like smiling and squinting. So like, that's why eyes are a different shape than I normally would have them. Like that. Color should her eyes be? You look at my reference. I have a girl for coloring essentially. I don't know if her eye color's in here. Very dark brown. Okay. That's fine with me. I feel like the girl is looking a different way than I would like her to look. Oh, let's make sure she's looking the right way. Did not like the other eye when I did it like I used to. So just make sure that everything is right. Very dark eyes, but I'm not mad at them. Pencil. like this. Actually, probably need it to be smaller. Maybe like 4 saving. 4. And it's actually dark. So grab this one. Can't promise you, considering this is a different eye shape than I normally do, that this will look good, but I will do my best. Doing my best. It's not bad. What are we working on, my dudes? Let's grab this. It's actually darker, to be honest with you. Kind of got these. Man, he's unhappy with me, Clip Studio. I'm off my game today, I apologize. We also, yeah, no. Need like a huge screen that I don't have. Soft eraser. Don't know, my dudes. He just looks tired. The dress looks absolutely horrible on my second screen, but in front of me, it looks very good. So, can't tell you what about that is good, but music is making me tired. Do some eyebrows. I feel like that might help. Get this. Actually too far up, to be honest with you. Hold on, I think I need to sneeze. So we'll have this on standby. She look. Truthfully, I think her face is just a bit too big. Oh. Oh. I really thought I had to sneeze, but maybe I don't. Seems like it's too far out. Bad. What's going on? It's just the background. I think it's just the background. This one. Too far up. It is not quite right. I almost feel like this eye might be in the wrong location too, but you know, probably gonna be a problem for later. That's a weird noise. I was expecting this to take the same amount of time as King Grizzly Beard, but I have 2 full faces to render here, and they're in weird positions for me. So it makes sense that this might take a little bit longer. Plus nothing is hidden by like facial hair this time. Maybe I don't need to sneeze and then I can move this back. Also, people like I was watching and they were doing mic checks and I was trying to figure out, I watch things at such a low volume because I have hyperactive senses, and so everything is like pretty much the lowest it can be. No one else can hear what I'm watching when I'm watching anything. So I don't usually hear any mic problems, even if there are some. So I don't know, I'm just not the best judge of that, but people were like, oh, that's terrible quality, and I'm like, I hear nothing wrong with that. Is it because I listen to things on like a volume of 2? Is that why? Explain to me. I literally, my music is so low on this that I need a pink. Music is so low that I'm listening to. I have to have it like plus 18 or 19 decibels for it to show up on stream at the current volume it's at. It's crazy. The grass looks really good, let's just be honest, for the 2 minutes that took. Looks very good. I should make my own grass, but also, man, am I lazy about that. I don't want to do that. Honestly, I don't want to do any of this right now. Maybe we like render a hand or something. We do that. Or like her neck. That makes sense. Yeah, let's do that. For some reason that's my go-to. My go-to whenever I feel uncomfy. is Woodle Woodle Woodle. Probably has to do with my dad. My dad says doodle doodle doo, and it took me a minute to remember doodle doodle doo. That's what my younger cousin thinks his name is. My younger nephew thinks his name is doodle doodle doo. He just runs around screaming that, looking for him. Yes, that is correct. That is exactly what his name is. Funny. Totally exactly what my dad's name is. But my dad enjoys it, so not ruin his fun. Certainly will not ruin his fun if he's happy with that. I think those are too far up. Do that. Sure. Everything makes sense. Looks a little better to me, personally. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, this might take my full 2 streams. My Saturday and my Monday stream, but it is the last one, so I do want to do a good job on it. Ow. What the heck am I doing right now? I don't know why I'm not feeling working on her. But I am not feeling that. Where we met by Xander. I'm reaching that phase of rendering where I'm just like, nothing needs to be done. This is totally finished. Just throw this up there. I wish my style was simpler. Not that I necessarily have the most style you've ever seen in your life, but I have something resembling a style. Let's see. This one, I got confused. I picked out a red dress and I picked out a white dress, and I got confused. And I did the red dress for the white dress and the white dress for the red dress. And I was like, okay, that's probably supposed to happen, so might as well just work with it. I drew it wrong. Clearly, it's just meant to be that way. You know? The universe is trying to tell me something. This is further down. Just as a floating head now. Not planned for this. I do love to draw clothes. Even though it might not seem like it with my past drawings. I don't love t-shirts, but I do love to draw dresses. And their ruffles and all that stuff. There's a whole series on TikTok of just me doing studies of different dresses and fabrics and stuff, which I would like to get back to. Because I had a lot of fun with that. You clipped? Yes, okay. Dudes, I don't know what this is gonna look like lying down. Person on here is not lying down. Smaller. Not really ruffled is the thing. It kind of looks like it's ruffled, but it's not really. Not really ruffled. Not the worst thing. Don't know what the heck I'm doing, but they're doing their best. Doing our best. I do like the red dress a lot more than I like this white one. It's supposed to look like this. Truly, it can go any way that I want it to go. Like this could work. This could work. It can go any way I want it. Just me rotating this because I don't want to do the work on it. Debating getting a new pen that supports tilt. It's like $80 and I don't know that I want that. Like, I'm not sure I'll even like tilt at the end of the day. So we gotta think about that. Why am I exhausted? It's because I didn't get enough sleep last night. That's why I'm exhausted. I need some water. I need some water. Give me a minute. Okay. You missed my phone telling me that it was time for me to shower. I've already done that phone, I promise. What counts as a view? Explain to me. Just went up from 98 views to 99 views. Did someone like quickly stop by and then hear me not talking and then leave? We're getting into the Christmas season, and my mom and I were making a list of movies that we wanted to watch. So it's like Rudolph, Charlie Bound Christmas, Holiday in Handcuffs. I was like, Ed, if we need anything extra, Frozen and Tinkerbell, The Secret of the Wings. I love Tinkerbell and The Secret of the Wings so much. We can try and do this hair. Is this one? This one's hair. So we'll see about that. We also have coming up, let's see, Monday. Last year they started a tradition at the football stadium in my state. Do this light festival, which is really fun. So we're doing that on Monday. And then next weekend, so in 2 weeks, I have a wedding, which I'm terrified for. It's going to be the biggest event I've been to since the pandemic started. Absolutely scary. Scary as all heck. But very important to go. Because it's my cousin's wedding. But just very uncomfortable. So we've recently learned that some of my relatives are eating inside restaurants, which to me is absolutely insane. To them, apparently fine. Which, you know, everyone can have their own fun, but dear Lord, not eaten inside a restaurant for a long time. Ooh, did not realize that you did not have a kin. Maybe we throw some kin down there. That might be a good idea. I'm just waiting for the day someone shows up and starts chatting for me and I miss it because I'm not paying attention. Waiting for it. I'm waiting for that day. We've got kind of like, actually, this hand's gonna need to moved, but right now it's fine. But let me just clip it for the time being. Why? Go away, stop. Help. Need help. Okay. Make sure that everything is working. It's gonna be crazy the day that someone actually shows up to one of my streams. And all of a sudden I have to filter out. Currently I've been just copying the chat and pasting it just in case in my YouTube uploads. I'm gonna have to delete the messages from people. That will be a crazy day. This one can be like this. Hello? Not the best, but it's not the worst. Like probably use some grass through here. Maybe that'll help. I don't know if that helped at all. No idea. Garrh is supposed to be like the last step, but like, just moving all over the place because I gotta work on something and I don't feel like finishing any of it. Oh man. I also don't think anyone else is on today that I necessarily love to hang out with, which is sad. Okay, hold on. Let's just not play around with this for a minute. Just throw it there. I think the grass looks pretty realistic. Like it looks kind of like I pasted a picture of grass on there, but I painted it, I promise. You guys saw it. You saw me do it. Video evidence is there. Well, your hair is looking pretty good, to be honest with you. Just, why am I jumping around so much? Like, I don't want to finish anything. I just want to, like, throw down a little bit and then be like, nope, that's not what I want to do today. That is not what I want to do. So it's 6:30, so I should have been streaming for an hour, but I was 10 minutes late. I've only been streaming for 50 minutes. Also hoping I didn't, like, I did some mic settings, so I'm just kind of hoping that, like, you guys can hear me fully. I think you can. I think it's all fine. But, like, it's possible. I've not been making it. I changed around a lot of different stuff. I probably should only be changing one thing at a time, but, like, there was a lot broken, so, you know, a lot broken. Why can't this just be, like, I literally sat down for probably, like, 2 to 3 hours from start to finish and did this vector image on my left of my screen. Not vector image, just PNG. There's PNG. It took me like 2 or 3 hours to do that full thing. I know it was a lot easier, but, like, still. Hold on. Man, I'm not used to talking whatsoever. The more I look at her hair, the more I like it. Maybe I should do the other person's hair? I mean, it's not finished by any means, but like, looks a lot better, you know? You know? Do you know? Have I missed anything in chat? I have not missed anything in chat. I'm just taking a minute. If anyone has any ideas on what I should be doing for the month of December, let me know. It's going to be a busy month for me in terms of actual real life stuff. But certainly I still have time to do a lot of art and such. Let's work some more on this hair. Let's do some more. I'll probably watch some more of the Sentinel today. There's nobody on that I normally would watch. I'm looking forward to Minecraft a lot. There's, the update of Minecraft is coming out in like 3 days, and I'm pumped. I'm so excited. I actually might stream it and just not save the VOD or something like that. I really want to stream it. Just me being bad at Minecraft for a couple hours. Kind of this down here also. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just working on it. Like there's I don't know about that. How about you? Bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I feel like I need some more colors in here. The hair that I'm looking at over here has a lot of beautiful different colors. And this is very, very flat. B flat. Had to get comfy. We spend a little bit more time on the face. I don't know. Just me putting off. Sometimes I'm really productive, and then other times I'm just like, nothing. I got nothing for you. I am going to take a quick bathroom break because it's about that time. So give me a couple of minutes and I will be back. Oh, I should write right on here. We'll make it do this. Right back. Right over her face. Okay, give me a minute. I'm back. I'm trying to decide. Getting saturated still. I'm trying to decide, do I go live more days? Do I try and film some YouTube videos? Like, I want to make this work, but I don't know how to grow an audience, and I think that's true for every YouTuber or Twitch person out there, content creator. It's like nearly impossible to understand how to find your community and create your community. And I want to make this work, but figuring that out is a whole thing that I don't get. So I'm gonna have to see what I feel like with this lady. To see what I feel like is the right action for me in terms of moving forward. Because I've done a good amount of streams so far, and I know that we all start out with no viewers, and that's normal. But like, I would like to move past that stage and start building my community. It's just one of those things. How does one do? It's all a mess. It's all a mess. Hello? The thing I hate about this, I don't want to dox myself. I have as my screensaver my car, which is one of my freaking, I love my car so much. But it's just one of those things. I can't show it. But like, well, you're missing a significant amount of stuff Didn't I put highlights in her eyes? Did I not? The heck? Sorry, I just got so confused. Thought I had... Thought I had already done that. The heck? Also, I have no idea where I just put that, but okay. It's fine, don't worry. Looking crazy yet? Yes, she is. She is looking crazy. Wait a second. Where did her eyebrows go? What the heck? No? What the actual heck? What the heck? What? Well, what the heck, guys? Hope. Did I delete them? Okay, what? I don't know what I did, but okay. You okay now? What did I do? How long has that been like that? Okay, where is this thing? Here, here. Oh, nope. Here, here. I want to go a little bit more red with. Oop. Thank you. Yes. Oh. No more red, okay. Are you trying to multiply with white? That's not how things work. Just isn't. Not how things work. No, but she is there. But she's certainly something. She's certainly something. I don't know about her, but she's something. Let's see what we can do. Also, hello to whoever just arrived. Don't know who you are. View count doesn't really accurately show me any of this stuff. If you would like to say hi, hello. If you would not, also cool. I lurk in everybody's streams. Oh, they left. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Only reason I knew someone else was here is my view count went up to 2. But we're just hanging out. We're fine. This is hair, so I don't want that right now. Guess this? I don't know. What do I want? I feel like I just want like a... Maybe that doesn't work. Maybe we go up here. We go right here. Yeah. That am I right? No. Right here? Oh no. This looks crazy. Trust the process. Trust the process. It's fine. Trust the process. She just looks really sketchy right now. Don't worry about it. What I should do? Throw them in there. Perfect. Okay. Right here. Oop, no. Constantly doing that. Constantly. Oh my god, she looks crazy. She looks absolutely crazy. My dude's nose isn't that bad. Definitely her cheek is terrible. Definitely her cheek is terrible. What if I like, oh no wait. Let's go like that. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go like this. Because, like, her hair should come down to, like, here. Then we have, like, her ear. Right? Like this. Something like that. And then her jaw. Comes like this. Just me trying to fix things too late. I think that's... It's maybe right. And that's neck. So... just fix things up a little bit, I guess. Where's the hair? Is this the hair? With the hair? No. I'm so lost, guys. I'm lost in my own... Here we are. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Where's the skin? This is still gonna be and some sort of shadow, just less so. Just fix up the face and then we'll figure out what needs to be done for us. That screenless here. Where is the hair? Like this. How are we feeling about this? Not bad. Not good. Not bad. Okay. Okay. But yeah. I've been very focused for the last minute or so. Minute, maybe a little bit more. Than a minute. But I have like 50 minutes or so left. I just do really quick streams because I don't have the bandwidth for more than that. I don't know about this, to be honest with you. What the heck am I doing, my dudes? Let's see. Something like this. This. Like some sort of secret formula to ears that I sometimes know and I sometimes don't. Depends on the day. Really depends on the day. I laughed a lot today, which is odd. Usually crack myself up at some point trying to... Hello? Oh, okay. My screen went black. I was like, oh dear God. Oh dear God. We just lost the stream. We didn't. Did not lose the stream. Oh no, she's not the most beautiful of children, but she's not really a child in this. But certainly pretty good so far, I think. Crazy, I'm at 100 views on my channel total. That's crazy to me. Never would have thought I would ever get there. But I was saying, like, I don't know if I want to try YouTube. I don't know if I could really entertain people or not. Also, I might have to turn down my mic. I'm just hitting the yellow, really. But it does have some red peaking bars sometimes, I guess, if I get a little bit too loud. I don't know. I have to redesign my stream again too, because there's just something that I don't love about it. Looking at this on my stream, it's not that bad. It's really coming together in some way. I don't know. The heck are we doing here, dudes? Why did I decide that this was an excellent idea to stream? I really just gotta fix her face. I mean, like, what? Do this one. Something wrong. That. Okay. This one. Need to touch that. A lot of shadows on her face. A bit darker, I don't know. Like it somewhere. Where that is, I don't know. Somewhere. What is this song? Out of this. I don't know, I think she looks a lot better. We shall see. Check on stream again, see what she's looking like. don't know, she's looking pretty good to me, as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell, she looks pretty good. I still do have to do so much. Oh man. So much to do. Let's see what I can do about her arm. Weird noises going on here, sir. This, but tiny bit over there. Thumb. Pointer. Oh man, that's looking crazy, my dude. Better. Heck am I doing, my dudes? What the heck am I doing? Oop. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. That's looking crazy. Doesn't look that great. Okay. Oh man, I don't know about that hand. That looks a little bit messed up. Not just a little bit, looks very messed up. very festive. Oop. This looks crazy, my dudes. The arm overall doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you. The hand looks terrible. Looks absolutely nutters. Looks nutters. Really liking the middle area of her hair a lot. Like the outside still needs a lot of work, but the middle area is looking pretty good. Gonna need some tea, so I'm gonna have some jasmine green tea. Anybody else watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and then decide do that you loved jasmine green tea because Uncle Iroh loves jasmine tea? Because I decided that I don't like this hand. Do I have to do this hand? Can I have some other thing to do? I'll only, in my 2 hours, I'll have only gotten the background and like half of one girl done, and that's what I'll be able to say I did during this whole entire 2 hours. I'm just not being as productive today. I always dread watching myself back. That's one of the worst parts. Not because I don't like it, but because it takes a lot of time. I don't know if anyone else in chat streams, but it takes a lot of time to watch yourself back. I love looking in the users in chat and seeing the random people that are here. Like, yes. Hello, feet. Yes, that is entirely a person. Yes. Maybe I can switch. Should merge some of these layers, honestly, but I'm always like terrified to merge anything. I can always start over, but I hate starting over. Let's see. You can close to. Imagine I hadn't done these folders at the beginning, and all of a sudden, like, I'm just trying to figure out my way around, and it just doesn't work. This. Where is... Here we are. It's blonde. So... Flip this around. See if we can do this. Maybe we flip this one. Oh, much better. Oh, thank God I thought to do that. Her hair's a little bit shorter than apply. This. I go like this because that's right. Hopefully. We were somewhere close to where we're supposed to be. I don't have any idea what I'm doing until I've done it. She's gonna end up blonde. I did not realize that this was gonna be so light. I didn't know. Oop, don't want that. I have to go a bit darker than this in future. See what's going on here. I need to, yeah. Let's see, like this one. We go to the multiply layer. No, oh, my screen went black because it's saving. Okay. Honestly, I could have the worst process of drawing ever, and I would not know. Because no one has told me. Could be the worst ever drawer. Would never know. Another multiply layer and maybe do something a little bit more like that. Maybe this will add to overall look. Could be terrible too, who knows? We'll see. We'll see at the end. Hair is a lot lighter than I had intended for it to be. Do something. Better. Let me see. Actually go up all the way. Hair correction. This. Not a lot of contrast. So it's not terrible. Not a lot of contrast, my dudes. Really not feeling to in her face whatsoever. and this poor arm, I'm like, eh, why would I ever do an arm? Why would one ever do an arm? There's no need. It kind of looks like she's in scrubs. She's not supposed to be in scrubs. Maybe we could put like a pattern on her dress. I really like how this is turning out so far. Though the hair might need to be a little bit different. I still have to figure out a lot of the different how do I explain this? The different functions to change colors. I do want her hair to be slightly darker. But I do want them to look like siblings. That's going to be an interesting thing. There's actually a lot of fairy tales in Grimm's fairy tales where like it's very important. So like there's like two children and they're like, we will be together forever. Like, they hold hands and they like refuse to be separated. Just kind of cute, you know. My nephews are like that. They're the cutest little beans ever. What the heck am I doing, to be honest? I don't know. Could you imagine I was trying to do like a certain person? This, like, neither of these people look anything like what they're supposed to, like the reference photos. Not that they're supposed to, but like if I ever tried to do a realistic portrait, I would have a rough time. I have an extremely rough time. Do I want to start rendering this face? I do not. Should I start rendering this face? Yes. Am I going to? I don't know. Just her. Looking absolutely crazy. Oops. I just got really freaked out because I heard a door. For some reason, I get really creeped out when I hear doors. So that's why I went quiet for a little bit. I was like, door. Like a dog with a squirrel. Squirrel. I gotta rewatch Up. That one's a good movie. Oh, Muffins21. Thank you so much for the follow. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing, my dear? You are the first person to chat in my stream, which is lovely. Nice to have you here. What do you think of my drawing that I'm not feeling like rendering right now? We're working on this. It's due on Monday. Just a soft due date. for myself. And it's not coming together as quickly as I had hoped. But lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. Oh my god. I'm still relatively new at art, so I'm always like, it's not great, you know. I've only been drawing for about 7 months, so I'm always feeling crazy about some of this stuff that I'm doing. I'm like, this looks not good. You ever been really hypercritical of yourself, and then you're like, no, I have to bring good vibes. I'm an artist. I'm doing good things. I gotta start. If you are here a lot, you will realize that I procrastinate a ton. I just don't want to. I don't want to do anything. I get on for like 10 minutes, and I just don't want to do it. Let's see. Okay. Let's do some shading here, I guess. Gotta continue. Continue working. What am I looking at? Is this lady? What's that? Oh, it's backwards. I have a reference sheet off to the side, so that's if you're seeing the stuff change. I have had a good day so far. It's still relatively early for me. Currently it's 7:22 a.m. But I have had a really good day so far. I've been pretty productive. We still have leftovers from Thanksgiving, and that's been fun. So I got to have some leftovers for breakfast, which is always fun. How's your day going? Is it early? Early where you're from? Is it midday? Done anything interesting in our still somewhat COVID times? I don't tend to usually. Yeah, right? I love Thanksgiving leftovers. So much food, yeah. Everyone cooks. I don't cook anything. I get away with the day. I get to eat everything, and I ask everyone, I'm like, please make my favorite foods. Please make me some pecan rolls and my grandma makes the best bread. Please give it to me. And then I just show up and I eat all the food. I don't have to do anything. No one wants my food. I really can't cook. But we had so many people over. It was crazy for Thanksgiving. And it was crazy because, I don't know, last year they told us not to have anyone over, so it was literally just the people who lived in my house. It was 3 people, and this year we had 27 people. Oh no, that's sad. We always keep the leftovers, and because there's so many people, we just give them out and everyone eats them leftover. So nothing really goes to waste in our family. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you got timed out for spamming caps. I just have some stuff. I have some stuff on. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have just the general stuff that everyone recommends to put on. I'm so sorry. No. But I did see your last message. I am keeping an eye on chat that a lot of food got wasted, but we gave a lot of our food. I have an uncle who ended up not coming, and my cousin drove him some food, him and his mom. They weren't able to come. So nothing got wasted so far, but we do have like 2 pies left that I will be eating over the next day or so. The bin was so full, my mom was flushing it down the toilet. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. Oh man. That's certainly not good. That's such a waste. It almost got clogged. Oh man. Oh no. That's scary as heck. Why did I not clip this? That's so scary, man. I couldn't imagine. I'm just imagining, because we did have 30 people over, and we start flushing food down the toilet, and all of a sudden the toilet gets clogged, and you're just like, yep, that happened. That definitely happened, yep. What do you do? Like, and then you call the plumber, you're like, hey, we flushed too much down the toilet. We started having too much food, so what do you do in that situation? I mean, unfortunately, like, currently our fridge is stuffed full of leftovers, and luckily we're fine eating them, but probably my mom, if my dad and I weren't here, she would do the same thing, or they would go in the trash, because she doesn't like leftovers whatsoever, so she won't eat them. She would probably just throw them out, or she would give them to my grandma, who would eat. She would throw them in the freezer, and then just eat them for the months to come, because that's how my grandma is. But that's, yeah, I would feel guilty too if anyone was flushing food down the toilet. I went to use it and saw a cucumber. Hey, at least it wasn't like a turd. At least it wasn't a turd. That's all I gotta say. No, my mom wouldn't flush leftovers. Well, she might. She might. If we weren't here, she probably would. Because she doesn't like them. She doesn't like leftovers, so she refuses to eat pretty much anything. I think this Thanksgiving she had like mashed potatoes and maybe cranberry sauce and some mac and cheese, but she's a really picky eater. So if we had all like the turkey and the gravy and green bean casserole and all that stuff, and she hadn't given it to the people to bring home, she probably, if the bin was full, would flush things. She's like, I'm not gonna eat this. Probably would. She hates a lot of different foods. Sorry, I'm not getting a lot done here. I was already off track, and now I'm like, oh, I can distract myself more with chat, which is fun, but like, I'm not getting a lot done here. Let's see. Let's try and work on the eyes, and we'll see if I can get something done there. It looked a little funny though, mostly because the sound it made going in. Oof. I can't even imagine what sound that would be. But I imagine that I probably would have been laughing. I'd butt off him. My mom would be like, what the heck are you doing? Being crazy, lady. Crazy lady. For some reason, like, this is... I don't know if I explained to you coming in, but I am doing a series. This is part of a series. It's off of Snow White and Red Rose. I'm doing a fairytale series on my Instagram. So that's what this is. If you're wondering. That's what I'm currently working on. It was mostly potatoes, some turkey, and a lot of vegetables, and a couple eggs. Did you have like deviled eggs or something? That's an odd for me. We don't have eggs at Thanksgiving. That's an interesting, I've never heard of that. That's quite interesting. But we did have a lot of potatoes left over as well. I'll flush down to eternity. Maybe the fish will eat it. Oh my god, I probably would have been yelling at my mom, to be honest with you. What are you doing? What the heck? So much food going to waste, Mom. I don't know, are you like into sustainability? Because I certainly am, and I would not be a happy camper without some of that stuff going down the drain. Plus the fact that so many people are hungry right now. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have yelled at my mom, my poor mom. You're crazy. Let's see. I love yeah, right? You know, it's really hard with my parents. My grandma's really good because she grew up when there just wasn't a lot of money. Well, they were really poor. There wasn't a lot of money, so she like uses everything. Very sustainable. My parents, like my mom, bought all these salt and pepper shakers, right? Because we had so many people. And she just wants to, they're just plastic. She wants to throw them down the drain, like in the trash. Like, there's still salt and pepper in those. We can use those. Why did you buy all of them? And we already have like 7 things of salt and pepper. Like, why did we even need more? I don't know. Made me feel bad? Yep. Probably would have made me feel bad too. One of the things that's really rough is when you're not using like reusable plates and you just have all these plastic plates and paper napkins and plastic forks and spoons and knives and all that stuff, and you're just like, we didn't really need all of this. We have more than enough to serve everyone here without using any of this stuff, you know. All of this crazy stuff we really don't need. Her face, so like the top girl is rose red. Her face took me the hour and a half or whatever, so apologies that this might take a little time, but that's what art is. Take some time. We need to improve. I know it's hard though, like a lot of the problems are like on the consumer end, there's not a lot we can do because it's a lot of like big businesses needing to make some changes for us. It's just like they need to be more responsible. Like even if you're really responsible as a consumer, it's just so much waste on the business end, you know, that it's just nearly impossible. If I was an animal, what would I be? I like to think that I would be a bird of some kind, like maybe a merlin or something. Just because I love birds. But the reality is I probably would be something like a mole or something, like some sort of hermit animal, you know what I mean? Because I am a hermit. What about you? What kind of animal would you be? I'd always want to be something really cool, and then it's like, really, I'd probably just be some underground dweller. Yeah, I would love to be something really cool like a bird, but I feel like if I'm being honest about my personality type, probably would just be an underground dweller of some kind. Let's see, okay. Yeah. I would want to be a spider so I could climb on walls and annoy you. We actually used to... I used to love spiders. My sister has a walk-in closet, and she had a daddy long legs in there, and we kept him as a pet, and then our babysitter killed it. I've been afraid of spiders ever since then, essentially. But I used to love spiders. Now they freak me out a little bit. They're just living their lives, but it would be cool to kind of almost have zero gravity. You know, where you could walk on walls and the ceiling and everything. That'd be kind of awesome. They do freak me out. They're just living their lives, but they do freak me out a little bit. Actually, when I was very young, they brought a tarantula into our preschool, and I was not at all freaked out by that. It just comes with age that you're like, spiders are scary. They can't harm you, but they're scary as heck. Maybe a tick. But I would be the most annoying creature on earth. Being a tick wouldn't necessarily be the most fun thing, though. You're like reliant on your host to stay alive, and then you're kind of like trying to hide away, you know? Trying not to be found. Your life would probably be short-lived. Sorry I don't have any cool emotes or anything, but I am still relatively new to Twitch, and I have not gotten the rapidly amount of followers or anything that I would need to make affiliate, so if I ever do, I will make emotes. Let's see. Should have been here earlier when I like accidentally deleted a couple layers like a crazy person. I don't know how I did it, and I was like, where did they go? See. What would you do if you saw me sneak around your house? I mean, I would be freaked out, to be honest with you. I would be very freaked out. Probably scream and then run to the police or run across the street. Help. Let's see. This is where, yes, okay. Still more work to be done on her eyes, but move on for a tiny bit because I'm a little lost here. Oop. Yes, okay, cool. Cool. Oh, as a tick. I'm like, yeah, that would be really creepy. Okay, as a tick. Truthfully, I live in like a woodsy area, so I wouldn't be that surprised, but definitely would attempt to either step on you or get rid of you in some way. Because, you know, I don't know, bugs, stay outside if you're a bug. Like, I don't want you anywhere near me. You're a bug. Stay outside. Otherwise, you're probably going to die. Because you're gonna flip me out. The count is so odd here. I'm glad I actually have someone chatting because literally it says I have 2 viewers, but if you look in chat, there's like 8 people. So a lot of them are bots. It's so strange. So strange. I'm glad I can tell someone's actually here, hanging out. But yeah, it definitely would probably step on you if you were a tech in my house. Because it would freak me out. And I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs at all. I hate bugs. Like, if they're living outside, they're perfectly fine. Once you come inside, no. You've sacrificed your life. You're gonna throw me in the toilet. Yeah, flush down the toilet like the Thanksgiving leftovers. I would throw you in the toilet. It's probably just me, but like I hate throwing bugs out in the trash because I'm afraid that they're gonna come back to life or something. Like I know they're dead. But like I'm deathly afraid that they'll come back to life. So need to flush them down the toilet. At least I would get some Thanksgiving food. Yeah. If you survived the ordeal and got to the other end, you would get a cucumber and some potatoes and some eggs. That's what you would get. Terrible at noses. So like you just see this nose. Maybe we try and do the lips or something. I don't even know where her face ends, to be honest with you. Maybe we should do the same thing that I did with the other one. And do a drawing. My sketches are terrible. You have not been here since the beginning. My sketches are absolutely horrible, and they help very little, if at all. So, like, I end up having to do sketches later. I'm gonna have to erase some of that hair, because she does have a cheekbone that needs to be shown. And her hairline is way too high up. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I would swim back and hopefully you see me and pick me up. Oh no, I don't know about that. I probably just flush the toilet again. Flush again. Oh, thank you. Go away. Don't want bugs. Gosh, I have too many layers. Do you draw at all? Or are you just hanging out? A lot of the people that watch drawing streams draw. So, I don't know if you have the struggle of too many layers ever. Just like a million layers. You're like, where's this one thing that I want? People are super quick at drawing. I actually was very quick the other day. I drew something from start to finish in 2 hours. That is not today. That is just not today at all. At least her mouth is closed. No. Oh well, we're gonna deal with this, but we'll try our best. Should show you my sketch. You'll laugh your butt off. I'd just be taking a bath and you send me LOL, but you didn't see me because of my size. It would be fine, I think. Even if I was already in the toilet. This makes me think of, have you ever seen that little video where it's like, why you flush the toilet before you pee in Australia, and they like flush the toilet and there's this like huge spider that's hiding underneath the seat and you're like, ah! Oh my god, I'm so sorry you keep getting these spam messages. I'll change the settings for the next one. I just have them on the normal settings, literally, so that was good enough since you're the first person to come and hang out. Oh my god, that would be so freaky. I know, right? I would flip out. I couldn't deal with the spider. Could not deal. Underneath my toilet seat. I even get like creeped out if there's a dead bug in them. I won't go to the bathroom if there's a dead bug. I have to flush the toilet beforehand. She's looking a little bit crazy, to be honest with you. But I should do the shading. I have no idea what I'm doing, just 1,000,001 layers. Keep jumping around today, I'm having trouble keeping focused. Let's see, okay. This. Also, very deep bags for some reason, but okay. This a little bit. But maybe I could crawl up the bowl and hide under the seat, that way I wouldn't get noticed. Then it'd be fine, right? I don't know, man. Probably I wouldn't notice. But creepy. I would actually flip out so bad if there was some sort of bug. This crazy looking. She's looking a bit crazy. Just a bit crazy. Just a bit. I'll show you my sketch real quick as I take this off, but I do have to get her hair done a little bit. My sketches are so bad. This is my sketch. Oh man. I'll show you without anything under it. This is what I started with about 2 hours and 10 minutes ago. The sketch is so bad. Now it's this. No, that is it. I'm so bad at sketching, it's fine. I think the background turned out pretty nice so far though. Like the grass, that was the easiest part because I have a grass brush. Oh, now that I have someone watching, how's the music and audio balance? I do check them myself, but I'm not the best at figuring it out. You should place them on a wall when you're done. Maybe. I could get it printed. I usually put all of the stuff on Redbubble, just in case anyone wants to buy it. But my mom might like it. I could get it printed. Audio's really good. Okay, thank God. I've had so many issues. Really nice contrast. Okay, awesome. I'd had so many issues with audio and I changed my headphones, so like no one's been here before, so I don't know if it sounds good. Like, I could be the crackliest thing ever, but I'm not. Okay, so that's awesome. She's looking crazy. I mean, okay, she looks better upside down. Like, if you look at her, she doesn't look that great either, but upside down, she looks pretty good. I don't know, maybe her face is just too far down. Odd. Is it too far down? I don't know. There's something wrong here. It's probably that she has no nose, to be honest with you. But, again, not the best at noses. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if I like... Maybe we do a different person's nose, because I'm not sure about hers. Wait, I just realized hiding under the seat would be even worse, because then I'd get flushed at the end when you were done, and that would be horrible. Yeah. That would not be ideal, certainly. Certainly would not be ideal. I don't think there's really any hiding in the toilet, you know what I mean? Like, someone's always gonna find you at the end of the day. I assume. Do you have anything interesting planned for the rest of the day? I've just got this and then maybe movies with my family that are in town for the holiday. There's the Swørn. And I'm layers like a crazy person. Yes, actually I'm going to town this evening. It will be great. Ooh, that's fun. That sounds really fun. Yeah, we have a couple things going. Hopefully they have some nice food too. Oh yeah. Food makes or breaks the day. You know. If you don't have the right food, you're not going to be in a good mood. Let's see. She's looking. They look so different from each other. They're supposed to be sisters. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, today, let's see. We just have probably a movie. And then also, later this morning, pie making at my aunt's house. Usually they do it pre-Thanksgiving and then they bring the pies to Thanksgiving, but we already had like 4 pies at Thanksgiving. So we definitely didn't need more pies. Okay. And yummy. Yeah, I'm the only bad cook, I swear, in my family. Everyone else is like great at it. Meanwhile, I'm just over here, I'm like, I would burn water. I would literally burn water. So, but I get to eat all their stuff, so that's the good part. I don't even know what style I would say this is. I'm still trying to figure out my style. I can't even make a sandwich. I suck too. I know, right? Put together a peanut butter and jelly, but how much peanut butter and how much jelly? Like, just do the balance wrong. Like, I'm more of a consumer in my house. Yep, definitely me too. If I make anything, it's usually like toast with peanut butter and like a sliced banana. And like that's the extent of my cooking ability. I can't make anything. And I don't like certain foods. I don't like to work with meat of any kind. So like that's not happening. But I definitely burn everything. The amount is so hard. Also based on like personal preference, and also like what kind of jelly do you use, because some people like strawberry jelly and some people like grape jelly, and like I don't know. What do you want me to do? Like I can't make anything. But then I'm picky, but I can't cook things. Yeah, same. Same. My dad will make me like a delicious burger and there's like seasoning on it, and I'm like, I can't eat this, there's seasoning on it, it needs to be unseasoned. He's like, you're gonna eat it, and I'm like, no, it's not good enough. My dad has a specialty of like meatballs, and one time he ran out of the spice or whatever he used for it, so he like put together his own spices, and I usually love them. And I ate one and I was like, I can't eat this, I'm sorry. I'm so picky. I barely eat anything. I get it from my mom. But then if there's leftovers, I'll pretty much eat anything as long as I don't have to cook. Oh no, those are awful. Yeah, I know, right? This color... It is, okay. Here's the thing, you don't want to be unpolite. Yep, that is very true. The thing is, like, in my first year of college, I had a friend who was Polish, and I don't like any food. And I went over to her house and her mom was cooking food for us. And I was like, don't worry, you won't be able to tell if I can't like anything. I'm really good at pretending that I like things. So I just ate it. Like, I'm just very good at pretending that everything's fine. Like, I'll just eat these things if I don't like them. Even though it's just trying to be kind, you know? Because you don't want to be rude about any of the stuff. Essentially, if someone hands me food, I'm pretty much going to eat it. It doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy it, but I don't want to insult anybody. Oh yeah, leftovers. Wish I had those. Oh no. We're going to have leftovers for a long time, because we overestimated the amount of food that people needed, but I'm not mad about a couple of pies. I really am not. I'd make a bathroom excuse if that happened. You know, I've ate worse things. I really have. I've eaten some bad things in my life. Polish food was really not that bad. We actually, like, I didn't realize that I went to, like, essentially a heavily Polish population in my college area. And so, like, there was a lot of different, like, pierogi and just different Polish foods, even in my dorm. I hadn't realized at the time, but it was. I don't know, there's a certain level of politeness you have to stick to. And just flush it down. You just bring your plate to the bathroom, like, excuse me, bathroom break, just gonna bring this with me. And I flush it down the toilet. Oh, it was delicious, I ate it in the bathroom. I don't know about that. I think I would still feel extremely rude at the end of the day. Oh man. I'm not mad at this so far. My hand is kind of crazy, and there's still a lot to do, but I'm not mad at it. Probably, oh my god, the amount of layers I have. Oh my god, what am I doing? Sheer amount of layers that I have here. Yeah, like, I feel more so if it was like a living thing, like a chicken, because then I basically wasted someone's life. Yeah, I mean, as I get older and older, I'm not that old yet, but as I get older, I'm like, why am I eating meat? I'm essentially vegetarian at this point, unless someone physically gives me meat to eat, and then I'm like, I can't really turn that down. Because I feel bad. But, I feel bad about eating meat whenever I do. I can't think about it too much, it just feels bad. Because it's not good for the environment. But I still do it. See. Right, it feels wrong. Yeah, I know, I totally get that. And like, I watch a lot of vegan or vegetarian creators and stuff, and you know, a couple of them have really put me off meat. I don't know. You just can't think about it. Plus, I had a pet bird growing up, so especially if you eat like chicken or turkey or something, you're like, oh my god, this could be my pet. But you still flesh bugs and they are living things. I know, it's crazy, it's illogical. As we continue through this pandemic, I continue to think about how illogical I am about certain things. Like, you know, I value, there one time a frog got into our house, right? Don't know how, but a frog got into our house, flipped me out, and I caught it in a cup and I brought it back outside. But I won't do that with like a spider or a fly or anything. I'm like, I'll kill them and throw them down the toilet. They're still living beings. But you know, it's illogical that I would think one life is worth more than another. But you know, it's just how it is right now. Oh my god, I'm so sorry you keep getting timed out. I will fix it for the next stream. I will. I promise you it will be fixed. Oh man. Just keep getting timed out because you're being nice and you're talking to me, and Nightbot is like, no. Go away, stop. Oh man. I'll figure it out. I will change the settings on that. Certainly you're not saying anything that is bad or wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry that it lagged. We had a frog come into our house, and sorry, I got a little lost. We had a frog come into our house, and I caught it with a cup, and I brought it outside. But I'll just kill the bugs, and like, who am I to decide that a frog is worth more than a bug, right? But I still do. I'm illogical. I continue to think that I'm very illogical. But that's just how I am. Let's think about this. The end result of this is actually going to look something like this. It just is easier to render. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm not gonna, like, it was such a cute frog, like, you know, somehow it got inside, and I was like, you're not gonna die by my hand. You're a lovely little frog. We live, like, right near the forest, so, like, there's all, I mean, like, I don't know what I would do, because we'll have turkeys, and we have had coyotes, and deer, and what is it? Groundhog. We have all sorts of creatures outside. So I don't know what I would do if the rest of them got into the house, but definitely a frog I'll bring outside. I mean, as long as the bugs are dead before you drown them, I guess it's alright. Insects and animals are not the same thing. There's still beings that live on this planet. We took over their planet from them and built houses and took over their environments, and then we expect them to just not come into our houses, you know? But I do feel worse about, you know, a frog or something larger than an insect. But I do always make sure that they're dead before I flush them down the toilet. Oh my god, could you imagine if you were a fly and you weren't dead and you were flushed down the toilet and you just like got sent through all of this plumbing? That would be terrible. Be absolutely terrible. I'm gonna just check what my black and white is looking like. It's looking pretty okay. I think there needs to be some more contrast between the hair and the grass, and the shirt and her skin. But it's looking pretty good, I think. So far, I hate rendering black and white, but I always check the black and white because apparently that's a good thing to do. I don't know. That would be awful. Yeah, I know, right? You try not to think about these things while you're doing them, but it's like a water slide for bug, but not a fun kind. It's times like these that I'm very glad that I'm not colorblind. Whee! Yeah, right. Not the good kind of water slide, but oh my god, I gotta do something about these layers. Also, you can tell that I have not wanted to do the hands or the arms. You can tell I do not want to deal with them. But I do have to actually be getting off soon, to be honest with you. We've been live for a bit, and I try to keep it manageable because I do have other things going on in the day. So this might be where we leave this one, to be honest. But it's not due till Monday, so I might be finishing it on stream on Monday because I've been having a lot of trouble with motivation. You actually showing up helps me stream for an extra half hour, so thank you for that. But yeah, I do have other stuff to go do, so I'm probably gonna end. You have a beautiful day too. I hope I see you in my next stream, and I hope that you have a lovely day in town, and get good food and all of that. And we will just end it here. But thank you so much for coming and following. I really appreciate it so much. You're my first follower, and I absolutely will remember. But have a lovely day. It was really good to talk to you. Bye.